We did see the president, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, also addressing the nation, where he made a lot of recommendations, made a lot of calls, where the members of parliament, also from both the region of northern Uganda, were able to sort of present problems that they have been encountering as people of this region, and where the people have also been going through some of the problems. We are also represented before the head of state in there, and I hope also these ideas are actually the ones that have been touching you, because it is surely the mandate of the members of parliament or to also represent these ideas before the head of state, so that the cabinet can be able to solely go through them and find alternative measures to also address some of these problems in there. But that is what we did see yesterday, and I hope that also represents itself also the ideas that will be discussed also in the coming days, and we hope resources will as well be allocated towards those problems in there. And I hope that is actually where we are going to be also really checking in through later on to see that if the ideas of each and everybody has been catered for in these regional parliamentary sittings. But as the viewer, how satisfied are you, or how dissatisfied are you still when it comes to the issue of this regional parliamentary sitting? Because somebody out there could be saying, I'm not happy at all. If at all you're not happy about this regional parliamentary sitting, why not? What reasons do you have? But we are saying the activity officially will be climaxing today, where we hope also now the members of parliament will be going back also to make sure that also the ideas that have also been generated here shall be given keen attention, so that also this does not remain on paper, or this does not just remain in discussions. That is how we need to also really understand in there, and that is how we shall be also touching something small about the regional parliamentary sitting today, this early morning of 30th of the month of August. The month is done. We are going to be entering now the Mba months, starting from September, October, November, and finally December. That means the year is actually coming to an end. Usually when we enter the last 4 months of the year, that means you must also be aware that the festive season is around the corner. But how prepared are you for the end of the year, and what exactly are you doing to make sure that the year ends without you also not attaining anything at all? Because we need to say that at least you should at least attain one of the goals that you laid at the beginning of the year, because once the year is starting like this, people usually have a lot of plans. That this year I want to build a house, this year I want to buy this year I want to get married, this year I want to do that. Yes, and every time people do that, but really sometimes when it comes to implementation, many of them do not actually attain. That means you may not be doing certain things right, and you need to find out what exactly you are not also doing rightly in there. But we are saying sometimes it is actually out of God's will. That means you should continue working hard and praying as well, because if at all you neglect God, then that is how at the end of the day your plans may not be able to solely come to your wish in there. Later on we shall be joined by guests. That's from Arua City, our youth leaders. They will be also joining us shortly from now, where we shall be discussing issues pertaining to the International Youth Day celebrations. That's for Arua City, which will be going on today, where Arua City will be commemorating this day at Oreku Primary School playgrounds. That is also in Aivu in there. We hope also all these matters will be also fronted also in there before different leaders in there, because our youth sometimes go through a lot, but their problems are sometimes not being given keen attention to. That is where we shall be joined by the leaders from the city council, and they will be here to also make sure that we understand why we must celebrate this day, and what ideas of the youth should be fronted, and what ideas did they present to the members of parliament, so the members of parliament front these ideas before the regional parliamentary sitting in there. Because really sometimes the youth, who are the majority population, go through a lot, but then nobody comes to their rescue, and we keep on blaming them for drug abuse, we keep on blaming the youth for theft, we keep on blaming youths for other bad sorts of activities, but we do not find out why youths may be engaging in certain activities the way they are doing so. And that is how we shall be also joined by the guests from also Arua City, and we hope at the end of the day we shall be deliberating on challenges that the youths also really face in their different activities in there. And at the end of the day, we want to also really assess why certain things are being done the way they are being done so. And we hope at the end of the day, the discussions that will be unfolding today will be also giving at least some bit of hope to that youth who is now living a hopeless life. We want to say there's still more life to come. You need not to give up, but today you know that many of the youths are giving up. That is how we are seeing them engaging in criminality. That's how we are seeing them also engaging in drug abuse. But all in all, we are saying drug abuse can never be a solution to any problem that you could be going out right now. It's all about having patience and also relaxing, to also work hard towards your dreams, because at the end of the day, if you give up, then you're going to be engaging in drug abuse, smoking opium, smoking marungi, doing kuba. At the end of the day, your life is ruined. That's how we're going to be seeing you also become a madman in there. And at the end of the day, that will not be right. And that is how I want to solely call upon now each and every youth out there to actually honor their youthful stages in there. That's where we also need to also guide ourselves, because as a youth, if you see a fellow youth is going out through a problem, be a solution, never be also a problem, because sometimes we despise these youths, and that's how we see them giving up and also living now a hopeless life. At the end of the day, we see them running mad, and that means if at all as a youth out there, you are seeing a fellow colleague going through a lot, please find a solution to also such persons, bring them closer to you, and make sure that they also get to feel that indeed they are not also in problems alone, so that solely we do not have many youths also running mad. Today, if you move into the streets, you'll be able to slowly realize that many of the mad people are actually youth. That is one clear observation. Why? It is because sometimes we give up and we start engaging in drug abuse, and that's how at the end of the day we find it very, very much difficult. We are saying that shouldn't also be the case, and we want to make sure that each and every time that does not also really leave us behind. And that is how we are going to be moving on with the show. Remember, we are looking forward to also waiting for our guests. These are the youth leaders from Arua City, and they will be also really joining us shortly from now. But before we get to have them on set, we still have lots more to discuss with you, as we are still following up on the regional parliamentary sitting that where we did see the President, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, addressing yesterday. But what exactly did he say when it comes to this also really regional parliamentary sitting? And many things were actually discussed, and many ideas were being fronted by our members of parliament. But of course, we did see President Museveni calling upon members of parliament to prioritize mobilizing Ugandans towards wealth creation initiatives. And today, with the several government programs such as the Paris Development Model, the Myoga, and many, many others, and where we did see the Grow Project also officially commencing, that means all these programs are to make sure that the citizens move away from the poverty bar line in which they are in, into the money economy, where at least each and every person should have something for their pockets, not only for eating in there. If at all we are to engage in food production, then the food that comes from our gardens shouldn't only be for eating. It should go into wealth creation. We should sell this to our neighbors. We should sell this also to other countries outside, because if at all we start exporting, then that means our pockets are going to be very, very wet. And once you have a wet pocket, that means the economy is actually muzuru on your side. That means you are doing well. That means you are actually one person who had maybe the gospel of the prophets and also the priests of socio-economic transformation, usually that the leaders are actually singing today. And now the president is also here to also ask upon the leaders now to also really join the campaign and spread the gospel that is on socio-economic transformation. And that is how we did see him also rallying the members of parliament. As yesterday we did see him also really while addressing members of parliament during also the regional sitting, that's at Kaunda grounds in Gulu City. And that is actually how we did see the president, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, also really asking members of parliament to educate their electorates and the constituents on the benefits of 4-acre model of farming, and stating that it can be instrumental in wealth creation and also creation of jobs as well. And that means also really, as we are commemorating the Youth Day celebration, if at all we took the president's advice also really very, very much serious when it comes to issues of wealth creation, if at all we engage in agriculture, and then trust me, we are going to be also moving away from the poverty bar line into also the money economy. But sometimes we're ready to engage in agriculture, but we do not have land, we do not have capital. How do we make sure that we move out of that without also the necessary support? That means we need to think outside the box. We need to think far as youths. We need to also really put our emphasis onto these programs like the Parish Development Model, because there's a percentage for the youth, but unfortunately in some areas the youths are being also manipulated, where there are complaints of people who are supposed to also really protect and also really aid these government programs realize their intended purpose, also really taking advantage of the vulnerable girls, which is really something I must say is quite disappointing, because how do you really ask for sex in exchange that is for the Parish Development Model cash? That is what exactly happened. And we hope also the government gives keen attention to addressing this matter, and we also really expect the responsible officers to also really be brought to book. And now that calls for thorough investigation into this matter, where we hope at the end of the day, those who are capable and also who are being held behind these initiatives should come out to also really make sure that they answer to these allegations, because we want to understand that exactly what happened is actually wrong. It is also against the laws of this country, because the laws of this country also do not also promote what we call sex exchange for services, also for benefits, which at the end of the day is a criminal activity. That means we are also calling upon now the responsible authorities to make sure that thorough investigations are carried out into this matter, because if at all my sister really goes and pleads to you as a leader that she wants to actually benefit from the Paris development model, of which she is entitled to, how do you really come out and start asking for sex? That is really something I want to say happened this week. In our findings, we managed to also actually move to many of the areas, and this happened in Kenya Ward, in Central Division, where we were able to also see the different cells of Kenya Ward registering complaints. We were in Kebiri cell, we were in Enyao, we went to Club cell. All these areas had complaints raised against the officials who have been behind the parish development model in that area. But what exactly caused the mess? And why are these issues emerging now? Because we had issues besides the issues of people demanding for benefits. We had scenarios also really of ghost beneficiaries. People from other areas actually also really appeared on the list, and that is how bad it is, because we're able to see people also really coming out from other areas to benefit from this. And at the end of the day, the president's message of socio-economic transformation is not going to be yielding its intended purpose. If at all we still have such leaders, we have such officials also really spearheading such government programs, at the end of the day, I want to say the songs of socio-economic transformation will just remain a song, or else it will be like how my grandmother used to say, it will just be like a goat listening to a radio. That means the goat will still listen to it and nothing will be done. Nobody also will be able to understand that in there. And that is how exactly my late grandmother used to say, that if at all you are spreading gospel that does not have any sense, it is just going to be to the citizens like a goat listening to a radio. That means government now needs to come out and sensitize such leaders and also have them capable also of these crimes which I feel are against humanity. At the end of the day, that is where we would see also many politicians some such tendencies, and that would also act as a warning to those who would also wish to engage in such similar practices. And that is really where I want to say we hope at the end of the day such issues do not arise, because we want to see sanity. We want to see the vulnerable community members also really move into the money economy, and that would also really be to the dream of the president of this country, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. But unfortunately, most of the leaders who have been pinned behind this mess are actually part of the ruling government, that is of NRM, and that is actually clearly exhibited yesterday, where we did see demonstrations against the resident city commissioner for rural city assistant, that is Matua Job Richard, who spearheaded this campaign to bring sanity in this also really campaign of socio-economic transformation. Remember, he has described himself as a priest of socio-economic transformation, whose bishop is actually the president, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. But to my dismay yesterday, we were able to sort of see supporters of those officials who are behind they also really mess within also Kenya Ward in their coming out to also really protest against the assistant resident city commissioner, that's Matua Job Richard, at also the mayor's garden, where we did see them carrying placards that Matua has come to also divide NRM, and that is how we are politicizing the whole issue in there. That means NRM needs to check also their problems, because their problems may be now internally within also the ruling party in India, because if at all we see fellow NRMs coming to fight a fellow NRM, then there's a big problem that needs to be also checked in there when it comes to implementation, because they also said Matua is actually dividing the ruling people, that's of the NRM government in there. But how is this a political matter? Because this is government money. Looking at the Paris development model, it is actually meant to be given to each and every person in this country who is vulnerable, not necessarily because of your color, not necessarily because of the party you affiliate yourself to, but we are saying to every citizen who deserves to have that money in there. And that is where we're going to be leaving that message, and also the discussions in relation to President Museveni's message yesterday, that is at the ongoing regional parliamentary sitting, where he addressed the nation yesterday. And we hope The matters that also really were raised before him shall be given keen attention, where we expect now Cabinet to also really make sure that certain monies that also really have been asked are approved, because the issue of the people who lost their property during the LRA insurgency very, very much featured in there. Then the issue of Karuma as well featured, and we hope all these matters shall be given keen attention to by the Cabinet, and that is how we also really going to be putting a discussion aside. And then we also expect issues pertaining to the youth should be given a keen attention as well, as today we shall be seeing Arua City commemorating the International Youth Day celebrations that is at Oreko Primary School playgrounds. A number of activities have already taken place in relation to this, where we had the youth parliament, we had also the sports activities happening just like last year, and this year we did see the same, and today we shall be seeing the D-Day, how they usually call it, and this is where we shall be seeing the whole activity also climaxing, with also really the main activity taking place at Oreko Playgrounds. And continue watching us as we take this short commercial break.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Vinicius Jr., Lamine Yamal, Antoine Griezmann. La Liga comes to Star Times.
A wild celebration!
The big stars, the tiki-taka football, Real Madrid and Barcelona live in your living room.
Real Madrid, a team of dreams!
Catch all 380 games live and in HD on Sports Premium Channel 259 and Channel 246 starting this August 15th. Subscribe to StarTimes Classic or Smart Bouquet at 36,000 Uganda shillings to enjoy the football experience affordably. StarTimes Football and Limited Passion.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region. West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Vinicius Jr., Lamine Yamal, Antoine Griezmann. La Liga comes to Star Times.
A wild celebration!
The big stars, the tiki-taka football, Real Madrid and Barcelona live in your living room.
Real Madrid, a team of dreams!
Catch all 380 games live and in HD on Sports Premium Channel 259 and Channel 246 starting this August 15th. Subscribe to StarTimes Classic or Smart Bouquet at 36,000 Uganda shillings to enjoy the football experience affordably. StarTimes Football and limited passion.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
All right, welcome back from that short commercial break. We are back with the KOKOLIRIKO live show for this week, and the end, of course, that is where we are going to summarize the week. And remember, as we are getting closer to the weekend, and the weekend is just here, that means we are going to be having a busy week. And that is where we want to also ask each and every person to celebrate this responsibly. And now talking about celebrations, we shall be seeing the youths in Arua City celebrating their Youth Day, International Youth Day celebrations.
Sure.
Why must we celebrate the Youth Day?
Well, actually...
And first things first, who is Doreen Onyeru? Who is with us today this morning?
Well, good morning, viewers, and thank you, my host. I'm called Doreen Onyeru, the female youth councillor at Arua City. Why we are celebrating this day is very important for the young people. Today is that actually the Youth International Day is normally celebrated every 12th of August, which had already passed. The international one was celebrated at Soroti City, whereby we're also in attendance with my colleague, male councillor, who is very busy now, right now on the ground, because the one of Arua City, we had postponed to today, that is 30th of August, and we really felt that the youth of Arua City need to feel this day well celebrated. Okay. Why we celebrate this day is to know that the youth, we also do accountability to the young people who elected us in this office of youth leadership, and we need to account to them. That is the right forum for accountability. Since most of the young people in Arua City, others live very far. Others live in, when you say Arua City is the second biggest city after Mbarara City. So other people in Arua City live very far in Vudikali, which is down in Riki. So why we are bringing this day close to them is just because they should know the leaders are working, and they should hold the leaders accountable. Who are these leaders? The leaders are the youth leaders in Arua City, that is headed by the youth councillors and the Youth Council of Arua City. And when you look at these structures, the structures of the youth leaders are right from the villages up to the city. Okay,
let's first talk about the theme and the main agenda for our celebrations today, which is Youth Skills for Peace and Development. Why is skilling very necessary for our youth?
Well, I think I must thank the person who has chosen this theme, Youth Skills for Peace and Development. When you look at this, there's the aspect of skill. When you look at the aspect of skills, we have the president has given us initiative to skill the young people in Zombo. We have a hub. We took the last cohort on Saturday last week, whereby we took like 30 youth, young people for skills training. These skills are given to the young people free of charge. We do selection from all these parishes. That is the fourth cohort, and the first cohort was taken in 2022. That is when we took like 30 youth 30 young people in Arua City for the skills training. After attending this skills training in Zombo, they gave them the startup kits to start in their businesses. There are so many skills development that you can go and attend in Zombo. One is carpentry, tailoring, hairdressing. There's so many things that you can do. So why this theme of today is that we want to tell the young people it's not only that you work in a very big office that you can attend this, that you can get money, but through these skills you can get something to make yourself busy at homes, even in the markets. When you make a craft shoes, and some of them they're making these nice shoes, the craft shoes, people are buying at 30,000, and you buy a material of 5,000, you make these craft shoes. When you sell it out, you add value to it, you sell to the people out there, you get a lot of money. It's not only that people should work in offices, you sit on a rolling chair, you roll yourself around. That is what we want to change the mindset of the young people in Arua City through the skills development that they should attend. We don't want to see the young people sitting on the roadside on ropes, even counting. Sometimes I tell these people, why are you sitting at the roadside? Are you counting the numbers of vehicles?
They're guarding the road because they have nothing to do.
No, the skills training has already come, and I promise the young people.
That brings me to the question. Mainly, usually, when we interact with the people, most of the youths, they will tell you the selection to these skilling centers is very difficult.
It is
because there are numbers that are being allocated for each and local government to present also as they take this these youths for training.
Well,
looking at Zombo, that is for West Nile sub-region, and then the other side also I do understand there's one also for Madi sub-region in Jumani.
Yes.
Usually the young people are complaining that not each and every person is allowed to go for these skilling centers. How, as the city leadership, have you managed to also address this concern?
Well, about the limited numbers to take these youths for the skills training at the hub in Zombo, they have given us numbers like 30 per district or city. So we have been managing this. We pick youth, the most vulnerable young people who are not doing anything, who have never even attained education. You'll get that chance to go to Zombo. We do the selection from Paris to Paris. We give these selections to be done by LC1s. We don't want to interfere in the selection processes, because when we do the selections ourselves as leaders, people will say that you're picking your relatives, you're picking so and so. So we identify through the LC1s. We pick these young people, and it's even out of interest. When you show your interest to go for this skills training, that is when we can pick you, we can select you. But when you don't show the interest, just of recent, let me give you an example. Of recent, we selected like 30 young people to a 15 boys and 15 girls. 2 of them, they were PWDs. So after the selections, so during the day that when we are taking the young people to Zombo for the skills training, 3 of them turned us down. We had to call, we had to make calls, emergency calls. Even other young people were calling us, please, if there's somebody who doesn't want to go for the skills training, consider me. So we had to do the considerations, and even in the count that when we went to Zombo, we had to change those names because it's out of interest. You saw your interest for something, that is when you can be considered, because we can't just take any other person. We can't take our relatives who are not even interested in some of these skills training.
So maybe let's talk about skills trainings here. What are some of those initiatives and those areas where you have been able to equip these young people?
Well, the young people have been equipped in tailoring. Most of them, when you look around, after coming back from the skills training in Zombo, we place them. Others, they don't, of recent, that is what we are advocating for. And very soon we are going to meet the Speaker of Parliament. He has given us room. By next week, we are going to meet her as Northern Youth Councillors in Uganda. So we are going to meet the Speaker of Parliament. We are also going to advocate for this, if our voices can be heard. These young people, after attending this skills training in Zombo, they are not given startup kits. So that is one thing that we are going to advocate for. The young people that we have taken in the skills training, and we take others when they come to us that now I've attained the skills. What next?
some of these young people's parents are also vulnerable. They cannot afford to buy a tailoring machine or a hairdressing machine for these young people. So we identify with the business people in town, who are the people who are doing tailoring, carpentry, welding. We identify, we take these young people to go and exercise what they've attained in Zombo to keep them very busy. That is what we have been doing.
Still talking about skills, have you ever found out the success stories of maybe some of the young people who went through the skills?
Well, I think there are so many success stories with some of these people who went through. I think even by next week, if God willing, we can bring one of them to the studio and he will talk to the young people out there how he has managed to survive in this city. One of the passions is doing welding, and the guy is doing very well. We picked him. This is somebody who just stopped in P7 due to school fees issue. Then we identified this guy. We took him to Zombo, the second cohort. We took him to Zombo for skills training. He attended the skills training. So right now, as I talk, this guy is making a lot of money. Even he told us that he's making each and every day when there's business, when people come, he makes 500,000 shillings in a day. So that is one of the success stories we have heard from these young people. And one of them is doing tailoring. And one of my sister is a high tailor. I took this lady after attending skills training. I don't know her, but when she came to us that where should I go next, because I've attended skills training, I don't have a startup kit. So one of my sister is a high tailor. I took this lady to my sister. As I speak now, the lady is making so very nice dress, very nice kitenge. So those are the success stories. After
you know, talking about mindset, usually while we were growing up, we looked at technical schools, or what we call these skilling schools, as schools for failures. Then today we are advocating for that because the number of employment opportunities have reduced. Because while growing up, this is how we knew technical schools as for those who may have dropped in P7 or those who failed P-Senior 4. Perhaps that is the mindset that we had about technical schools.
Well,
what are the benefits of these skilling initiatives that the President has rolled out today?
I would say that people should take in account that people who go for this skills training are not failures, and they are not dull students or pupils in schools. I must testify to you that...
And that's the mindset of some people still within the society.
The society will get to understand that once they go into it, or once they get these people to tell their success stories. Like, let me give you an example of this girl who is doing tailoring with my sister, who is a high tailor. There is a lot of calculation in tailoring, because you're going to take the measurement, which needs calculation. You're going to take the measurement of the waist. You're going to take the measurement of the shoulder, which needs a lot of mathematics. These people are not failures. Once somebody gets your body size and makes exact material in your size, definitely the passion is a bright student. Some of these people who go for this vocational training, it's not because they are very dull, it's because of the stations that surrounds them. All the station that surrounds the parents, because they don't have anything to take these students for higher level. So I must say that to the people who are watching us right now, I must say that these skills training are not necessarily for dull students or dull pupils or failures. So it's not only when you go to a higher level. Even some of these students, when we take to Zombo, others have diploma, others are degree holders, but they have nothing to do. They cannot get jobs.
So that brings me to the question, why is it important for a youth at least to have a skill? Be it in tailoring, be it in phone repair, be it in driving, be it in mechanics. Why is it necessary at least to have that one skill?
Well, it's not necessarily to, as I say, you after attaining the degree or diploma or master's, you must work and sit in an office. You dress in a suit, you sit in an office, so you welcome people or not. It's just when you have even other people who have master's degree, others even go for welding. They have that skills training to keep yourself busy. When you don't have that, and when there's an employment, you can get this as an option. You can make your shoes. As I said, some of these young people are making shoes. They have the papers, but they don't have where to go and do this practice. What what they have studied from school. So once you attend this skills training, it makes you to keep your family busy, buy food for your family, give all the necessities for the family members. You can't keep waiting with your papers in your hands, moving along the streets that I am looking for jobs. Where are the jobs? The jobs are not there. So when you attend these skills, it keeps you very busy to make yourself like you get money. It's a very quick money. Even I personally, I have some of the skills. I make tablecloths. Why do I make them? I even sell them at 150. I buy this tablecloth, the material I buy at 80,000, and I make it in order that at 150. So what profit am I getting? As long as I am also doing other things, I also need to do these skills and I attend them. I also make myself, I get some money to keep myself busy. I can't be waiting for the money that comes monthly as monthly salary. No.
Still, as a rural city, we do not have any skilling center. As the youth leadership, what have you done to make sure this concern is addressed?
Well, as
we continue to talk about youth. And today, looking at most of the problems are actually affiliated to the youths. Look at drug abuse, look at theft, look at data vices. Many of them are being committed by the youth, and we do not have the skilling centers. Recently, I was in the ghetto community. These issues always feature out. They demand also to be trained. First of all, that's where today we are seeing so many organizations coming to their rescue. But as the city leadership, what have you done to make sure this matter is actually addressed as we celebrate and also honor the youth today? Because it is important to actually celebrate the youth, because the youthful stage, Doreen, you cannot run away from it, that it is actually one of those crucial times in a lifetime of a person.
Well, actually, as the young people of our city leadership, what we are trying to do is to advocate for more of this skills training in Arua City. If possible, the government should make sure that this hub should be in all the districts, such that the young people will also get the opportunity to attend some of these skills. Well, and also in partnership with the non-government organizations, we have Restless Development that has helped us, even agri-teenage, that has helped us to skill some of these young people. Even of recent, some of the young people were taken for skills training at MVP by an organization called VNG. So that is our pride. We partner with these non-organizations to make sure that the young people also attend the skills training. We cannot wait for the presidential initiative at Zombo because there's a limit for it. And these people go there in Zombo, they stay for 6 months. And when we have some quick skills training, that with the NGOs, we connect these young people to these NGOs to attend the skills, and they get quick money. Okay.
Now the regional parliamentary sitting is going on. What issues maybe do you feel the youths needed to also have addressed on this floor of parliament? And that will be climaxing today with the plenary also in there. Because many of the youths are going through a lot, but their matters not feature. And usually there's a saying, there's nothing for us without us. Why is it very much important, and what role can the youth play in shaping the future also of the country?
Well, I must say that I don't know what the young people leadership in parliament is doing. I am so disappointed in the leadership of actually the young people in parliament, because when oral sessions are going, you don't see them presenting. You don't see them presenting issues of the young people. When you look at the population of Uganda,
have you presented enough before the council of Arua City?
We have done our part, but you may find that some of these MPs, they don't even attend our council meetings. So what is the use? Like, you talk about things, you advocate for the young people. These parliamentaries are supposed to take these issues ahead for the national implementation, whereby even you see none of them attending our council meetings.
But maybe the timing is also really clashing.
Not necessarily. I can't agree with that.
This is what they usually say, that you put council at a time where they're supposed to be in Kampala.
I can't agree with that, because when we put council meetings, we give invitation 2 weeks earlier to these MPs. So you can't tell me that in that 2 weeks' time you cannot plan yourself to come to the lower local government and listen to the local leaders and present the issues in the national parliament. Honestly, so, as an MP, we have, like, in Arua City particular, we have 4 MPs who are representing us in that parliament. What are they doing?
So to what extent have the MPs of Northern Uganda represented the ideas of the youth? But following also, I believe you have been following this regional parliamentary
Yes, I've
sitting.
been following it. I see none of them representing the issues of the young people. Most of them, they are talking about the infrastructures, development of the roads, the bridges. You may find that this unemployment of the young people, they are not addressing the issues. Maybe perhaps when we get the chance to meet the Speaker of Parliament next week, we shall also give our input to her, if she can take into consideration the young people of Northern Region. Actually, we in the Northern Region, we are suffering a lot. There are a lot of things that the government need to put forth for the Northern Region, not necessarily for the young people, but for the whole of Northern Region people.
Okay.
So these are the things that the MPs need to advocate, and even the issue of unemployment for the young people. This skills training in all the districts. I don't know what the MPs are actually doing. We need to, sometimes we need to bring into dialogues, but I don't think we have powers to bring the MPs for a dialogue, because they are always not with the local leaders in the council.
Okay.
When you call them after 2 weeks, they don't attend the council meetings. So whatever the local lower leaders discuss, these things are not taken account of.
So that is where we are seeing also our leaders not actively engaging. Should we say that the leaders have not given enough time to engage the youth? And why is it very much important now for the community leaders to actually engage the youths when it comes to issues of skills development?
Well, I would say that the community should put in account that these young people, when they are redundant, when they don't do any other thing, there will be hazard for them. They will venture into criminality.
Okay.
So these things, the youth should be skilled, and the mindset of the young people should be changed. The community should take in account that, okay.
So let's talk about it in the stakeholders that we are looking out to make sure the youths are actually good. Today, looking at the drug abuse, most of it is being done by the youth. Who are the stakeholders we are looking towards addressing this concern? I'm actually interested in this matter of drug abuse because it is featuring in many of the areas today.
Well, concerning the issue of drug abuse with the young people, the stakeholders that we are looking at are the local leaders that we have in our various constituencies. The local leaders should also come to address these issues of drug abuse. How should they address the issue? They should not look at the young people as outcasts. The young people always, when these other stakeholders, they will say that these young people are really hazard to the city. How should the young people be hazard to the city? Have you done something to bring the young people, to talk to them, to change the mindset? Have you done something? And the second stakeholder we are looking at is the police. So we need to engage the police.
So should police arrest these criminals?
I'm not saying the police should arrest the criminals, but the police should also organize dialogues for the young people, how they are supposed to hold themselves in the city, how they're supposed to do things. I must thank the RCC, who is now who has been transferred to Kotido. This RCC has never stayed for 1 full year. I must say that the president has done injustice to Arua City, because when RCC came into place, we had, at first we had the young people who are grabbing phones on the roadside. You'll not even move with your phones freely in Arua City. Even the handbags, sometimes they can even slap your ears with your phones, and when you turn your back like this, you find the person has already passed the roadside. So the RCC has done a lot to change this Arua City and put things in place. But the president has done injustice to transfer this RCC to another district.
Or maybe his services are needed somewhere, because problems could be in Kotito. That is definitely where he also will be filling that gap. Because we now have a new RCC, whom we actually had yesterday, and he is ready to actually pick up from where his predecessor is leaving. We are taking a short commercial break. We are there, that's a few seconds after 8 o'clock. We are going to be taking a short commercial break that will be also bring us back with the discussions. And today, Arua City will be commemorating the International Youth Day celebrations that will be taking place at Oracle Primary School playgrounds. And after here, our legs are definitely going to take us that way. And we hope also really you as a youth, as a young person out there, should join us. Let's have time, let's be together to also make sure that our ideas and our issues also really affecting the youth are discussed, because this is actually a platform where we are going to be discussing our issues pertaining to the youth, because usually there's a saying, There's nothing for us
without us.
We take a short commercial break as we bounce back shortly.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Lamine Yamal, Antoine Griezmann. La Liga comes to Star Times.
A wild celebration!
The big stars, the tiki-taka football, Real Madrid and Barcelona live in your living room.
Real Madrid, a team of dreams!
Catch all 380 games live and in HD on Sports Premium, Channel 259 and Channel 246. Starting this August 15th. Subscribe to StarTimes Classic or Smart Bouquet at 36,000 Uganda shillings to enjoy the football experience affordably. StarTimes Football and limited passion.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
All right, welcome back from the short commercial break. This is the KOKOLIRIKO live show with me, Farish Majid. We are 4 minutes after 8 o'clock, and today is the last edition of the KOKOLIRIKO for this also the week in there. And it has been a busy week, I should say, where the whole nation has been having their eyes in Gulu City for the regional parliamentary sitting. And earlier on, I did ask Doreen to what extent did the issues pertaining youth feature on this platform, and really she expressed dismay also in relation to this matter. But today, all in all, Arua City will be commemorating the International Youth Day celebrations taking place at Oreko Primary School playgrounds. A number of activities have already been taking place, and this year the theme is talking about skills development for peace and development. Why is it that also really, if at all we want to see peace maybe in Arua City, we should skill the youth? Could it be that it is idleness or maybe lack of skills causing problems in Arua City? Today you see people are being haunted, others are being beaten, mob action is at its peak. When we arrest a criminal, people tend to beat them up. How do you make sure all these matters can be addressed through what we call skills development?
Well, in relation to skills and peace, I would say that once these young people are skilled, they have attained some training, the young people will not be redundant, loitering on the streets, even stealing people's phones, handbags. They will keep themselves busy in the skills that they have attained. Let me say that the young people who have attained most of these skills, they are very busy. They don't have time to sit on the roadside. They don't have time to smoke. They don't have time to chew marungi. So they are always busy. That also brings into peace.
So could I say that an idle mind has been working towards this youth?
An idle mind is a devil's workshop. That is what the Bible says. Once a young person is idle, he might be thinking so many evil things. So many things will come into his mind. Should I go to stealing? Should I go and kill somebody? Should I go and rob? So many things will come into the young person's mind when the mind is very idle. So once this mind is kept very busy through skills, it also brings peace. It also brings sanity for the community and even the whole of Arua city. We find ourselves that we are at peace because many young people have already been taken for skills. And when we advocate for this skills training, the hub should be in all the districts. Perhaps I hope everybody is going to attend these skills. Even if you have master's degree, you'll also attend some skills to keep yourself very busy.
Doreen, recently we are in Kenya Ward. This issue really hurt me so much, where young ladies, it's alleged that they have been also asked for something issue has been taking place in there, where the leaders came out to also criticize this. And you saw the fight that really happened during the handover of the RCC. All that matter happened in your presence. What can you say about this issue of something for something that has been ongoing?
Well, I am so much disappointed in that LC2 who has done that.
It is yet an allegation.
Okay, it's an allegation, but there's a saying, a smoke does not come without fire. Maybe there might be something else, but let investigations take its course. We shall get into the roots whether this truly happened. And if it so happens, this person should be brought into books. And the court should, the police should make sure this person serves its punishment. Because as a young person, like let me say, the young people are really desperate for money. And that is why you see the politics of Uganda is commercialized. Anything you give for a young person, and you ask the person, like for example, the ladies whose parents are very careless, who does not take care of this young person, the parents will say that this young person does not have any other thing. As a parent, you cannot tell me that the child that you have produced has defeated you. You cannot tell me that you cannot provide any necessity. When you're with your husband on the bed, making merry love, do you think that there was somebody or there's a community behind there who is going to help this child of yours when you're going to produce this child? Do you think that somebody else is going to take in account of the responsibility of your child? No. As a parent, you have to take full responsibility of your children. And why these things happen is because the parents are not taking full responsibility of the children at home. They are not providing the necessity. For us girls, when I'm in my monthly periods and I don't have the pad, and when a man tells me that I'm going to provide for you the pad, definitely the man will not provide the pad without any other thing, for not asking for something for something.
Does that call for the something for something involvement?
That is
in
definitely.
PDM? Because the PDM, the youth have a percentage.
Okay, for the PDM case, the youth have a percentage. That is 30%.
And how have the youth utilized these funds?
And the 30%,
do they receive it?
The youth receive this money, but the 30% is not given as fully as 30% for the young people. I might say that in the statistics of Arua City, the young people who have benefited from PDM does not reach 50%. out of 100% that they were given the slot of 30%. So these young people, now when somebody tells me, or an LC1 tells me, you're going to get this 1 million, but you have to give me something. As a lady, 1 million is a very big money. So I would definitely go into, some ladies will definitely give themselves to this passion. You make use of me and you give me the 1 million. And the 1 million will cost your life. And you don't know as a young person, what has this passion has? Do you know the status of this passion? And I am so disappointed, this being a government project, which is free of charge, without money. You may find that some LC1s are taking money from these young people. Some LC1s are making use of these young people. Some LC1s are also telling this young passion, if I give you 1 million, I am going to marry you. Percentage. So this is something that the government has given for us for free. If the government was going to behave like that, how many people are going to benefit from the PDA? So that brings me the question, at what extent has the government supported the young people when it comes to issues of financial empowerment? How have the policies promoted also the young people also in the today? You realize many of the bad government criminal activities when it comes to economy are being done by the youth. Let's talk about smuggling. Many of it is, many of the youth are into that. Come to issues of other bad activities, selling bad unacceptable substances. It is the youth who are in there. So how has the government promoted also the young people when it comes to these issues of socioeconomic transformation that we are seeing today? Because many of the government leaders are talking about socioeconomic transformation today. But how have the policies supported the young people? Well, I must say that the policy is 100% correct for the young people, but people who bring into account that the government has given something, the people who are in that system, they are the ones monopolizing the system. And the policy has failed because to help the young people, you may find that they now go into smuggling, into other illegal businesses. So this young person, when the government gives something for the young person, as for example, we have just been talking about the incident that happened in Kenya 1 in Arua City. The government has given something for the young person, so you're making use of this young person. You're taking advantage of this young person on account that the government has given something. I must say that the president has done a lot for the young people in Uganda, particular. But the people who work around the president, they're the ones making the system.
Non-involvement. Last year, I was for the International Youth Day celebrations, where the chairperson, Magezi, actually raised this issue, that in the design of these programs, the young people are not being involved. Could that be a factor maybe causing such mess? Because they are saying when the designs are being done, they are at top level, not involve the young people at the grassroots, because it is a top to bottom approach that is being done in there when it comes to the design of these programs.
Well, about the design of these programs, it is true that
they involve the young people.
It is true that the young, if it's done at the top level, we have even the leadership of the young people at top level. So their involvement, I think the involvement is very less, and the inputs. And this comes in on account that as a leader of a young person at a higher level, you have to, even if you're not involved for something, you must go there. You push it through the person who has been involved. Push it. Push the agenda of the young people. Don't sit behind that we are not involved, so we are not going to do anything. You must go for it. Like here in Arua City, even when the mayor goes for a meeting, and the meeting also involves the young people, I'll invite myself for that meeting and I attend. Without even any other money, I attend the meeting. I want to listen to what these people are saying. And some things you need to push through these other top leadership. It will come. But the policy has really changed, that it's from top to bottom. I wish the policies should be, the things should start from bottom to top. So these are the things we are trying to advocate for as leadership of the young people in Arua City.
That is where we are going to be also resting with that matter. But still, we want to look at how the youth are being honored. We are talking about International Youth Day, but somebody out there is a youth and does not know about this day. What would you tell such a person when it comes to honoring this day? Because we want to look at how Oracle Primary School playgrounds will be filled. And a lot of activities have already been done. That is to raise awareness about this day.
Well, I must
Why is
say,
it important for me as a youth to celebrate this day?
I must say that this is our day as the young people. We have done so many activities before this day, today. We had community dialogues. We have moved so many parishes to make sure that the young people are aware about this day. And we have done youth parliament. That was yesterday. It went on very excellent. And the youth also participated actively in the youth parliament. And the resolutions in that youth parliament, we are going to disburse them to other young people.
What issues featured very much in this issue during this maybe sittings? What came out most?
Well, most of the things that came out are about the young people, about the skills training. They advocated for different hubs in all these districts, and also the NGOs partnering with the young people in Arua City, also to mentor them. And we also advocated for youth parliaments in their communities.
Okay.
So we are taking close the youth parliament to a youth who is down in Vudikali,
Okay.
Vudikali in Riki.
Okay.
We are taking this youth parliament to a youth who is in Mangasaba, in
Okay.
Odramachako.
Okay.
Because Arua City is up to Congo, if I may say.
Okay.
So Arua City is very large. So these youth parliaments, the community dialogues are going to be taken close to the young people who don't have that opportunity to come to the celebrations and all other things. So even in our council meetings, the young people don't attend. And this is what we always advocate for. When your leaders are talking, when your leaders are giving information in the flow of council, you'll have to account, they'll have to account for what they are supposed to do. Why you've elected them there is because you want to listen to what they are presenting in the flow of council.
Okay.
So you make these leaders accountable.
Okay.
So there are so many resolutions that we came up with. So we are going to dissolve them at the Youth Day celebration in Oreku Primary School.
Okay.
So all the youth should be there at Oreku Primary School. By now, I think the marching is about to kick off. The marching is kicking off at 9. So all the youth should join us in Oreku Primary School and go and listen to most of these resolutions.
Okay,
there.
you talked about bringing the youth parliament closer to the local persons. The regional parliament sitting also already was brought closer to northern Uganda people. But how closer have we had the regional parliamentary sitting, because the activities are climaxing today? As ordinary citizens, do we have a feel of that? As Doreen Onyiru, have you had the chance to actually have a participation or an impact on this regional parliamentary sitting? And have you had any impact of it on you as a youth leader?
Well, on the regional parliamentary sittings, I would say that it's going to be different from our parliament taking close to the young people.
Because this is the same dream. They say they are bringing parliament close to the people.
That is going to be very different from the one of Arua City.
How different?
Why do I say that?
And how different is it going to be?
These regional parliaments, I don't see anything, because the one that we are going to organize, it's going to cost us nothing.
Okay.
But this regional parliament that are brought to Gulu City has costed a lot of money. And it's they are making use of public funds.
It is a planned fund where each of these will be taking 5
Even if
billion.
it's a planned fund, so the funds have been wasted for nothing. Why should you take a regional parliament out of billions of money that you're taking close to the
But
people?
it is money budgeted for.
Do the even community do the community give their input there? No, they don't give.
So is there,
something
that
close.
is what I want to understand. Is there any difference of this parliamentary sitting to where it has been sitting in Kampala? What is the difference you have seen?
The difference is that we are taking in account
apart from the geographical location maybe of parliament.
Yes, the
because
difference.
The speaker came out to say parliament can actually sit anywhere.
Well,
Just like council can actually sit anywhere also.
I must say that the difference is that the money that has been invested in that regional parliament, I am not happy with it. This money can help even construct bridges, construct roads in northern region. In northern region, we actually have bad roads. You look for road on a road. So what do I mean? There are so many potholes in these roads of northern region. So why can't they use some of these monies that are trying to take a regional parliament in Gulu City, and they are wasting a lot of taxpayers' money on something which is not going to benefit most of us in northern region? I must say that I'm not going to benefit out of this because I need a very good road to transport myself to Kampala.
But these issues featured We saw them talking about issues of infrastructure not in Uganda.
They featured, but are they going to be implemented? That is the question. Yes, they can feature, but are they going to implement these issues?
Okay.
Yes.
But as a young person, do I need the road?
Why not? You need the road. Because as a young person, you need to connect.
Okay.
We need to network with other young people. You need to do businesses.
Okay.
So doing these businesses, they need good roads.
Okay.
Doing these businesses, they need good bridges. So as a young person, you can't tell me that I don't need a road. I need a road. I need a very good road.
Okay.
I need to transport my goods from somewhere to somewhere.
Okay. The border sector is actually the main employment sector for the youth today. Many of them are actually riding border, and that means we need good roads.
Yes.
And for us to have good roads, we are going to be, first of all, maintaining our motorcycles in good shape. Then secondly, we are going to be sparing time. That is why issues of infrastructure very much featured yesterday. And now we are waiting for implementation of all that, because Cabinet has, after here, also needs to go back and sit and look at areas where next they will be allocating such funds. And that is where we also really expect issues of our roads to come out clearly in there. And now that's where we are now also going to be looking back into our discussion of what we shall be expecting today. That is at Oreko Primary School Playgrounds. What are we going to be expecting in there? Because I do understand a few minutes from now, we should be having the band now arranging, and also we'll start with the parade. That means we are going to be walking from Manibe to Oreko Primary School Playgrounds.
Yes. What we're expecting as the young people is that at Oreku Primary School, there are going to be so many activities that are going to take place, and it's going to be spearheaded by the young people. Actually, we wanted one of the youth MPs in Uganda to come as a guest of honor for this commemoration.
Did you extend invitations?
We really extended invitation, but she turned us down.
Okay, maybe that she could be busy.
Maybe. That is what they normally say. They are busy. So we don't know. And the guest of honor is going to be one of our MPs, the constituent MPs. That is Feta Geoffrey, who is going to come. And we're also expecting the woman MP of Arua City, that is Osoru Morin, who is also going to be in attendance. And all the MPs, we're expecting them. Though there's a regional parliament going on in Gulu, but this is a priority because this is their area of jurisdiction. There's need for them to be in Gulu, but there's also much need for them to be here with us. So there are so many activities that are going to take place. We are also going to account as leaders of the young people in Arua City what we have done so far in this 3 years' time. What we have done as young people's leadership, because they elected us in this position. They had trust in us, so we need to also give back to the voters. So we are going to account to them. So many things are going to happen.
Okay, that brings us to the numbers of the recently concluded National Population Census exercise, which indicated that the country's population is mainly youth. What advantage does that have to the government?
Well, I would say that
because we are the majority. Our numbers are the majority, and we are the most energetic.
We are the most energetic, we are the majority, and what we're expecting from the government is that it's a proper plan for the young people. The government has to know that the young people are the majority. How he's supposed to plan for the young people is that they need to involve the young people in these planning processes. Honestly, we are advocating for these things, but we are not given space. Okay. So the young people has to be, this population, they should plan for the young people.
Okay. As we just left with about 6 minutes to wind up with today's discussions, any kind of word of hope to these young people?
Well, I would say that as a winding up, the young people should be hopefully that we are going to Oreku Primary School for this Youth Day celebrations, and also for somebody in Vudikali who might not get chance to listen to us. We have been on radio stations, and in most of these media houses, we have spoken. We have given them enough. But somebody who is not going to make it to Oreku Primary School, just make sure services are going to reach close to you anytime you expect from the leaders. Okay. Then secondly, I must say that the young people should take their day and celebrate it as What I need to tell you right now is that the young people, this day is not observed as a national day. There's no public holiday for it. People are not even bothered. Other people even don't know whether the Youth Day is today celebrated in Arua City. They have already gone to their offices. So we need the government to also make sure that the Youth Day should be a public holiday. Everybody should know that it's going to be a public holiday, that for the youth to be involved in some of these activities. So there are many young people who are even in towns who doesn't know about this Youth Day because it's never a public holiday. So the government should put this day as a public holiday for the nation to celebrate it as other days also, as the normal days.
You know, this is an international day celebrated annually. That's why it's called the Global or the World or perhaps International Youth Day. That means it is an annual event that is being celebrated each and every time, and to make sure that we also honor the youth. And the national celebrations for this year took place, that is at, in Soroti, where we did see also Museveni making a lot of recommendations to the youth. And that means we now need to take up some of these initiatives key. That means the government also needs to come out and support the young people's dreams, because today you have many young people who have dreams, but others are giving up. That's why we are seeing issues of drug abuse emerging, where others now reach the extent of saying that for them they have given up on life. What would be that message of yours of hope to that young person who may be going through depression right now, one person who has already given up and is now resorting to criminality for survival? But we are saying there's still hope. What is that hope that Doreen Onyiru, the female youth councillor for Arua City, is giving to them?
I would say that they also have that hope. You should never give up on any other thing. Whatever comes your way, you should struggle and get what you want to get. And there's a slogan normally, which is, there's nothing for us without us. So the young people should take into account that you can't give up on life. There's something for you to do. You engage the community. If you have nothing, just go to somebody who is doing business. We have so many business partners in Arua City. Go, tell this person, I don't want to engage myself into criminality because it's an offense. I want to do business. I want to sell this for you. I want to venture into business with you. Teach me how to do it. Give me what I can do. This is what we are supposed to do. We need to have hope in ourselves that we need to be confident that we can do something. Don't just give up on some other things which are very petty. Don't look at your friend. Some of these things are cause of peer influence. Okay. So don't look at your friend who is venturing into smuggling. Don't look at your friend who is doing illegal business. How has this person gained into that business? You talk to this person, how you've tried to attain this business, how you're trying to do this business. Okay. So those are the things. We have heroes in this city. Okay.
Also to the girl child who is most vulnerable. Today you see a girl putting on a nice shoe, tomorrow you see the friend buying the same. What message will you give that girl?
Well, I must say to the ladies that we are delicate people. We are very delicate, that we really need to account for ourselves. As a woman, as a lady, don't look at somebody who is putting on a very smart suit and you also feel like you want that suit. Don't compare yourself with somebody who is already there. The only thing you can do is that how has this person got into there? Go to this person and ask, how have you achieved to become somebody?
Perhaps my boyfriend has given me the support.
The support, our support
because
from ladies
that's why today we are seeing girls having over 5 boyfriends. We usually hear, usually they say this one is for soap, this one is for hair, the other one is for pad, this one is for airtime. They usually label them.
Well,
and you reach a girl's phone and you find that your name is saved, for instance, as Isuma Hair, which means you perform a task of hair.
I must say that to these ladies who are behaving like that, please, it's high time for you to change. And you look at a role model, you take somebody as your role model. You can even come to Doreen. Me, I personally, I normally tell myself that, what should I do with men? Because I am doing business.
Because you're empowered.
Of course, come to me. How did I get empowered? how did I get to reach that level as right now I am?
Okay.
Come to me and I'll give you how I have come to this level. I'll give you the most good advice than a boyfriend, than you going to a boyfriend that you have to plant my hair. For me, I have a simple hairstyle. I go to a salon,
And
5,000, I cut my hair.
Janet.
It stays for 2 months
Janet.
or 3 months.
Okay.
So I cannot ask for a man for something. No. These ladies must change.
Okay.
Get a role model. Talk to this passion.
Okay. Finally, we are left with about 15 months to the next general elections. Why is youth involvement very key in the politics of this country, where we shall be seeing the country going to elections in 2026? We are just counting less than 16 months now.
Well, I must say that I have a dream that in the next parliament, in the next lower local councils, it will be filled with the number of young people. Because they already know why they should involve themselves into politics. People should not really use us as to make for them alarm, to run after them, just because of 1,000. Stand with this elder person who is giving you that 1,000. Contest with that person, and you will see how you will fail.
Okay.
The young people will take all these positions.
Do
For us in Arua City, we already have the strategy.
Do they trust each other?
They are going to trust. It
Okay.
only needs time and mindset.
Okay.
So the young people have already known that without them, there's nothing that the government will do.
Okay.
But they have to stand into politics, and they go into these positions. They take these higher positions. Don't just go for LC1s, LC2s.
Okay.
Go for mayoral positions.
Okay.
Even in 2030, I'll come for a member of parliament in
Okay.
Arua City.
That is it, a discussion for next time. And Doreen, thank you so much as we come to the end of today's discussions. And now we want to say thank you so much as we are going to be following up on today's discussion. And as I said, after here, our legs definitely are going to be taking us to Oreko Primary School playgrounds. Finally, do we have food? Because people want to see in each and every celebration, people want to see a bull falling. And that is also our culture in West Nigeria. We want to see blood.
That's an awesome question. To the young people out there, we have a very big bull that we are going to slaughter, and people are going to eat and leave food for themselves.
Okay.
We have food. People are not going to stay hungry.
Okay.
I
that
promise
is assurance.
that's an assurance.
All right. That means as a young person out there, you need not to skip this day. You must make sure at least be nowhere but at Oreko Primary School playgrounds. It is not a far distance out of Arua City. I believe 3,000 or 4,000, 5,000 can be able to actually move you in there and be part of also the celebrations with the young people, as we also honor the young people. And that's where we are coming to the end of the discussions with Doreen Onyiru. She is the honorable colleague representing the young people, that's of Arua City in there. And we hope also we had a great time with her. And really I want to say thank you so much for your time. And we are going to be taking a short commercial break that will be ushering us into a discussion in relation to international stories and other national stories. And not forgetting sports as well in there. And remember, more of the programs also still will be coming your way. And it being a Friday, today we shall be having the Lugbaramabi coming shortly after the Elza News Bulletin that we will be brought to you by Fateh Manuel, and Eric also will be coming also with that. That is where we shall be having the Lugbaramabi program. And after, we shall be having many other programs. Islamic Hour today is around, where the Muslims also will still be a part of that spiritual nourishment, because without God, surely there's nothing you will do. We take a short commercial break as we bounce back shortly.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Bellingham, Vinicius Jr., Lamine Yamal, Antoine Griezmann. La Liga comes to Star Times.
A wild celebration!
The big stars, the tiki-taka football, Real Madrid and Barcelona live in your living room.
Real Madrid, a team of dreams!
Catch all 380 games live and in HD on Sports Premium Channel 259 and Channel 246 starting this August 15th. Subscribe to StarTimes Classic or Smart Bouquet at 36,000 Uganda shillings to enjoy the football experience affordably. StarTimes Football and Limited Passion.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region. West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Bellingham, Vinicius Jr., Lamine Yamal, Antoine Griezmann. La Liga comes to Star Times.
A wild celebration!
The big stars, the tiki-taka football, Real Madrid and Barcelona live in your living room.
Real Madrid, a team of dreams!
Catch all 380 games live and in HD on Sports Premium Channel 259 and Channel 246 starting this August 15th. Subscribe to StarTimes Classic or Smart Bouquet at 36,000 Uganda shillings to enjoy the football experience affordably. StarTimes Football and Limited Passion.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
All right, welcome back. And now to finalize the entire discussions with what's happening nationally and internationally, looking at some of the stories making it the national scene. Museveni to MPs, start with homestead incomes if you want people to develop, and that is still in relation to what we call the socio-economic transformation. Now, the President, His Excellency Museveni, also came out yesterday to ask the MPs also to start up with household income. That's also where he asked the members of Parliament to actually prioritize this dream of socio-economic transformation, where government of Uganda today has a number of programs rolled to make sure the implementation of these programs is actually a success. And today we have programs like Paris Development Model, Myoga, and many others. That is also to make sure that people also move away from the poverty line into the money economy. And now Museveni made the remarks on Thursday while addressing MPs also during a parliamentary regional sitting that is taking place in Gulu at Kaunda grounds. That will be climaxing today, also where we shall be seeing our MPs also really still now addressing the matter. And we hope also the issues that have been pressed in the region will be addressed today, and that is how, at the end of the day, we want to see the benefit of this regional parliamentary sitting that is actually aiming to bring Parliament closer to the people. And during this sitting, also, we expect our MPs to also discuss issues that happen also and affect northern Uganda, because it is a regional sitting. And at the end of the day, that is how we shall be seeing also the benefit and the plus for these also regional parliamentary sittings. And that is where we did some also rallying MPs to sensitize the people. They need to embrace what we call a 4-acre model, and to help them also create wealth and also jobs for themselves in there. And he made that remark yesterday, and he said in 2018, I made a countrywide tour, zone by zone. I gave you booklets where I talked about the 4 sectors and the 7 ways of wealth creation and job creation as well. And that means the president for long has been talking about issues of wealth creation and job creation, which are actually pertinent issues that press the country, that also really call for urgent solutions in there. And that is what we did see happening yesterday. And Museveni also explained that people who have large chunks of land should also really undertake the extensive agriculture to make money. That means if at all you have land in the Riki, if it's quite huge, make sure that you also take advantage of this. What about one person who has land in Otomachaku? Even if still land is quite big, make sure that you take advantage of this. And many of this land today where people can actually engage in agriculture is in Ivu division, which we did see also really it being also where the efforts now also to and plans to further disintegrate it more in there into more local units in there. That's one thing we did see also emerging recently, and we shall be having a discussion next week and what that will be bringing forward for a rural city in there, and what that will be meaning that ordinary citizen, because there are now plans by the cities, also the city leaders also to disintegrate Ivo into more smaller units in there. And now on the other hand, Museveni also thanked the MPs for passing a motion recognizing that is the work of the Uganda Post Defense Forces and NRM government also in pacifying northern Uganda and the rest of the country. And today that means also Museveni actually asked the people of northern Uganda to acknowledge the efforts by the UPDF in curbing and also kicking out the LOs, the resistance army also out of the region, because at one time we had also the country being destabilized by the rebels under the Lord Resistance Army movement, also where we did see them also destabilizing the country, where our people lost lives, our property also were destroyed as well. Others are actually up to date, demanding for the compensation, and this is also another issue that very, very much featured and was raised by the members of parliament from this region during also the plenaries also taking place in Gulu City in there. And he also said the UPDF has been able to succeed, that's in operations because of ideology, discipline, and effective planning. That means the UPDF is actually a disciplined force, as many of the people say, and President also came out to acknowledge that. And on our part, the Speaker of Parliament, that is right, Honorable Anita Mong, informed the President that the sitting is covering the issues and challenges and opportunities that are from West Nile, Acholi, Lango, and Karamoja sub-regions, which form northern Uganda. And this is also actually where we did see the Speaker of Parliament also informing the President that most of the issues that will be discussed also during the sitting actually have been issues that affect northern Uganda. And we hope also the discussions just do not remain by word of mouth. We hope also that at the end of the day, the repercussions have a fruitful results that also it brings forward for northern Uganda in there, because at the end of the day, we have been talking about us being submerged and also us being sidelined as well. But really, we are now looking forward to make sure that after the regional parliamentary sitting, such issues not arise anymore. We now want to see that issues solely affect northern Uganda are given keen and attention. So that's where we also want to see ourselves be compared with the other regions of Uganda. I wouldn't want to mention names of some of the regions, but I'm saying at the end of the day, we want to see these regions solely compete favorably in there, because sometimes there have been allegations that the regions have not been having what we call the national cake shared equally in there. That means the national cake hasn't been shared well, and that is how at the end of the day we are saying after the regional parliamentary sitting we now want to see the regions equally sharing the national cake, so that at the end of the day each and every person is actually benefiting and sharing also that in there. Now she described the session as a milestone in the legislative also the history of Uganda, as it's the first of its kind that we are having it at the regional level. And recently she came out to say that the 11th parliament can actually take place anywhere, and that is how they also really sampled, that is to bring it closer. The people of northern Uganda taking place at Kaunda grounds in Gulu City. At the end of the day, the deliberations coming out from there, we expect nothing but a plus for the region, and we expect the issues of road sector be addressed, the issue of electricity, good also that we have now the national grid, but we are saying we need stability, we need also really, it also to be a positive, also where we need to also see the negative, positive impact of this national grid connections. We don't expect it just to remain like that. At the end of the day, we want to see the plus of the discussions certainly that will be coming out from the regional parliamentary sitting in there. Now, leaving that aside, Youth in North asked government to review empowerment programs. Remember earlier on, we were together with the Arua City Youth Council representative, that is also Doreen Onyeru, who is the female youth councillor for Arua City, where we discussed issues affecting the youth and in relation to also the Youth Day commemoration, so that we'll be going today at Oreku Primary School playgrounds. And now the youth representative from Northern Uganda, Boniface Okot, has asked government to review existing youth empowerment programs and ensure their effectiveness. And today we are talking about so many government programs that have been targeting the youth, like the Youth Livelihood Program, the YLP, but how and to what extent have these programs benefited the young people, and how much have this impacted onto the lives of the young people? Now, how many young people out there today know about the existence of the YLP and the Paris Development Model, to which they have a percentage? That means we need to carry on a thorough sensitization of the youth. We need to also make sure youths are engaged into these programs. If at all we're not engaging them, that's how at the end of the day many youths are going to be feeling sidelined, and many of them are actually not going to be seeing the benefit of these programs. That is where we did see also that happening. And he made the remarks on Thursday during the parliamentary regional sitting held in Gulu, which also attended by the president. Our court stressed the lack of necessary also infrastructure and the frequent also failure to cover remote and under-reserved areas has left the people also of northern Uganda, most of the youth also really with less opportunities in there. That means, if at all, we want to realize that the youth also really move into the money economy with the different government programs, and then that means we need to make sure that we support them enough. And he also added that also really, despite government investments and numerous initiatives also really aiming at uplifting the youths, many of the government programs have largely fallen short of also delivering impactful, meaningful and sustainable results, more so amongst the youth. So that means, if at all we get these government programs, we do not expect tendencies of people getting the money and use it for eating marungi. We don't expect people to use this money for buying hoofers. We don't expect people to use this money for going into discos and nightlife happenings. That means we need to ensure that the youth are thoroughly sensitized, so that when they get the money, they exactly know what to do with this money in there. And that's where we are going to be leaving that discussion aside with. Among demands, fast-track report on Karuma Bridge. Remember, this issue of Karuma Bridge very much featured, as recently we did see bus operators in Uganda coming out to also really ask government to expedite its works on this Karuma Bridge, because they're incurring a lot of losses, and now the people who travel to the Lira and also Lango sub-region have actually raised that. In West Nile are not also spared, where we did see them also really talking about the issue of Karuma Bridge, which also really featured now in the discussions. But now, how do we make sure the works also really of this bridge takes also really minimal time in there, because we are past the period which government also really said the works also really would be also complete within that period in that. Now, we did see yesterday, Speaker of Parliament, Right Honorable Anita Mong, also issuing a 2 weeks ultimatum to that's the Ministry of Works and Transport to provide a comprehensive report on the status of Karuma Bridge, which also really many members of Parliament from this region have been also really raising queries on. Now, the directive follows concerns also raised by members of Parliament from the Greater Northern Region about the state also really of road networks and infrastructure, particularly also really where they touch the delays on the Karuma Bridge also really that connects the northern part to central and western Uganda as well in there. But now that issue also really very much featured, And we hope at the end of the day, matters pertaining this national importance also shall be addressed. Now, the Speaker's pronouncement came yesterday also during the second day of the regional parliamentary sitting, and we hope at the end of the day, this matter also will be addressed in there. Now, Mr. Mong emphasized that when you present your report, do not just also promise future action, show us what you have done and what you're currently doing. And at the end of the day, that is how we need to also realize the benefit of this regional parliamentary sitting when it comes to road infrastructure development in India, because some of the MPs could have not reached Karuma, and could they have also now those who have seen what Karuma is all about, definitely they are going to be giving a keen interest when it comes to that issue. Mr. Okin P. Ojara, the MP for Chua West County, expressed what we call concern about the situation at Karuma, which could also deteriorate similar to today's incident if prompt action is not taken in there. And remember, recently the country also washed by sad news of the Kitezi incident, where we lost lives and many also lost property in there. Today we are still also looking for the bodies of those who are trapped also in that garbage in there. Now, one of the MPs from northern Uganda is actually also saying, if at all we not address the issue of Karuma, then we may see similar incident like what happened today in there. Now, in response also to the queries raised by these MPs, State Minister for Works, Musa Chweru, assured that the works on Karuma Bridge is ongoing, and that means they are not also sitting, but they are going to be doing that also to make sure they climax the works anytime from now in there. Now, really to look at the background of the whole scenario, Uganda Roads Authority closed the 61-year-old Karuma Bridge to heavy vehicles and trucks in May for maintenance, as heavy trucks from Kampala to Lango, Acholi and Western regions we are not also we are not allowed to use the road, as they were advised to use alternative roads, as vehicles also passing through Luero, Kafuma, Sindipara and Machison Falls. Also not an eastern also we are asked to use Iganga, Nakalamati, Rinyi, Palisa, Kumi, Soroti Road. But today we are seeing also the drivers saying they're encountering a lot of losses, and bus owners and also vehicle owners have as well been declaring that, because they are saying the journey has enlonged, but the monies will not also increase. The transport fares remain the same. That means additional also the costs incurred are not being also catered for. That means they are going through losses, and they also recently came out to ask the company that is responsible for undertaking the works on this Karuma Bridge to also make sure they also speed up with their works on this Karuma Bridge. But how do we make sure this does not also take longer, like how it is ongoing? And now the restoration that was estimated to also take shilling 7 billion is being carried out by NEC and UPDF, and not forgetting China Railway 7th Group, but that is also where we are now seeing them taking longer to also make sure that they also do this work in there. But how do we make sure that this matter does not take longer like how we are seeing today? We are leaving that story aside as we are running out of time. And by it being a Friday, I want to say it comes with a lot of excitement, but we should also celebrate the weekend with a lot of caution, because we are going to be seeing also the people buying bell buttons, because I do understand one of the Rumba stars also is in Arua, and that's also where we're going to be seeing people exchanging their Lingala stocks. As Western TV, we are part of that, and really we want to say, as we are going to be celebrating out, let's celebrate with a lot of caution. Let's be vigilant out there, so that nothing also bad happens to us, as we also pray that nothing bad indeed happens to whoever is going to be moving out to also celebrate, because life is short. Usually we say life is short, and that calls for celebration. When you have the chance, celebrate, because you may not have the chance again. If you have the chance to celebrate, usually we say jubilate, because life is short. That means for those who are planning to move out, we wish you all the best. And we hope also you celebrate your life very, very well in there. Now, leaving that story aside, on a sad note, also on a shocking story, we are seeing here a senior 6 candidate has dropped out of school as he failed to raise shillings 250,000. Really, it's quite sad, and really sometimes for learners to fail to raise school fees. For you who went through this kind of life, definitely you should be knowing why it's quite a sad story. Because I remember during really how sometimes we were studying, during high school, you will realize that when they send you home for school fees, some of us would be excited. But for those who do not have the money and who know what is way back home, will feel sad. And that means sending learners for school fees is actually something very, very much sad. And that's why we are also seeing here, where a senior 6 candidate has dropped out of school after failing to raise, that is the 250,000. But yesterday we did see also people coming out to actually ask also to extend hands also for this also young person in there. And this morning I was able to also see one of the musicians who has been very much instrumental in supporting also really young people's dreams of attaining education. That is in the names of Idi the Lyrical, coming out to also really ask for location of this young person who is in Chigumba. Such also really, he would also really extend a support, also really a support hand to this young person here. That means we need to also really make sure that many of the people out there also really come out to embrace and do what exactly Idi the Lyrical, a musician from northern Uganda in actually sub-region from Kitgum, is also really trying to do in relation to also really making sure people's education standards are actually supported. And that is where also really I feel many of the leaders, many of the organizations already should come out and find out such young persons who are within our society so that we extend support to them. We may be talking about this as a particular case. What about the rest who are within our areas? That means we need to also really make sure that they also really do what we call support to these young people. That is how we are going to be leaving our discussions for today with. And this is the KOKOLIRIKO live show. And we hope you had a wonderful time right from the time we began until this hour of the morning, because it's a Friday. We are going to be stopping our discussions of the KOKOLIRIKO live show for this week here. And we shall be bouncing back on Monday. And remember, as earlier on I informed you, after here, our legs should take us to Oreko Primary School playgrounds, where we are going to be celebrating the International Youth Day celebration. That means we are stopping here, but that doesn't mean West Nile TV is going to be stopping here. Many interesting programs still are coming up next, where shortly from now we are going to be joined by the Areas and News team, Fete Emmanuel, together with the team already set to give you that. And after that, we shall be having the Lugaramabi that will be ushering us into the Islamic hour. That also really for the Muslims who also really are out there, we are saying be part of the Islamic also really hour. Such only you get message in the message of dawah, that is usually say, so that solely you're not also really caught offside, because seeking for knowledge is usually one of the requirements for Muslims also to undertake, and that's also where we're going to be having the Islamic hour also coming shortly. And afterward that, we shall be having the Lembangea news bulletin that will be ushering us straight into Street Talk. And then after Street Talk, we shall be having the whistle time. After the whistle time, we shall be having the movie time that will be taking us straight into Chukuchuku. And after Chukuchuku, of course, we shall be having the Nalcast news bulletin, and that's how our day for today will be also really running in there. That means you can still be part of these programs from this hour of the morning, that also we open up your day and close it later on with many other programs that will be coming your way. And I want to thank you so much who watched us right from the time we began until this hour of the morning. I did not take it lightly, and I did not take it for granted. I want to say thank you so much. Afoyo sana. And that's where we are going to be ending with the discussions for today here. Have a good day and the weekend as well. We bounce back on Monday. Afoyo Matek.